Hello, everyone, and welcome to Angel Healing House, and welcome to Walk In Angel Ariel's weekly wisdom for the upcoming week of February 27th through March the 5th. My name is Claire Candy Hoff, and my name is also Angel Ariel, as I had an angelic walk-in experience on January 11th of 2003. I'd like to welcome back my loyal subscribers. It's lovely to be in your energies once more. And thank you so much for liking and sharing and subscribing. And if you have found the Claire Candy Huff YouTube channel for the very first time, let me share a little bit about myself through my full-time business, which I created almost 20 years ago in 2003. My business is Angel Healing House. I am a Reiki master teacher, having taught hundreds and hundreds of Reiki practitioners and master teachers around the world, either in my beautiful office here in Santa Monica, California, or online. I'm a channel, a clairvoyant, a psychic tarot card reader. I also do past life clearings and ancestral healings. I also do twin flame reconnection, energetic reconnection, if your twin flame is on the earth plane, or in most cases our twin flames are across the veil, as they can help us enormously in this incarnation. I'm also the author of several #1 Amazon best-selling books. So to find out more about my services, learning Reiki, and those wonderful, remarkable channeled books, please do go to my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com, or you can always phone 831-277-3716, and remember that is Pacific Standard Time. Now, speaking about teaching Reiki, I received this beautiful testimonial from a recent Reiki student. She wrote, "I'd like to honor Claire Candy Huff for the wonderful experience I received from her and her angelic family, the posse of angels, while attending the Reiki Master Teacher degree. It was a profound spiritual experience for me. Every week there was personal instruction, adjustments, and encouragements. The homework was very thought-provoking and designed to really get in touch with who I really am. I have been honed and deepened each week. The experience was so rich in scope and depth that I feel like I've grown light years from where I started. Claire Candy is wonderful to work with, and the addition of her posse of angels make them a powerful team for anyone interested in becoming either a Reiki practitioner or going on to become a Reiki master teacher. I'm grateful beyond measure for this incredible experience." And that comes from Judy in Damascus, Oregon. Again, if you'd like to find out about learning Reiki, any of my services, my award-winning books, please go to angelhealinghouse.com. Also, I'd like to send out a big thank you to everyone who has made donations to my PayPal account. If you've gotten clarity, direction, inspiration, motivation, enlightenment, or entertainment, and you would love to make a donation to my PayPal account, I've left the information in the description box down below. So, without further ado, as we do every week, let's take a peek into the astrological heavens to see what planetary influences are affecting all of us. We are still feeling the effects of the massive 2022 portal that was on February 22nd, and many who are empaths and sensitives are still reeling from these powerful energies. This portal is getting us ready for the enormous changes, both individually and collectively, which are coming our way in March. Now, the posse of angels is giving us a heads up about the magical month of March, that there will finally be no major planets in retrograde. Now, this will provide an all systems go, a green light for forward-moving energies to support our endeavors and our projects. It'll give us that extra oomph we need to take a leap of faith, to perhaps start a new business, a new career, a new relationship, or it could be to step into and share a whole new side of ourselves to the world. March will certainly be a month to take action in the direction that our heart is being called to step forward. And they are saying that this will be the case, in most cases, from mid-March on. And while many of us are just raring to jump into our next adventure, well, the posse of angels is strongly suggesting that we do take this time to take one last look into the shadows to see if there's anything that still needs to be addressed. They know that many of us have done massive amounts of clearing and cleansing and healing work, but they are imploring us to take a last glance to see if there's anything that we are still holding any grudges on, or any resentments, any anger, bitterness, regrets, blame, unforgiveness, or judgments to anyone else, and believe me, especially for ourselves. Now, a great exercise to do is an exercise that goes over 3 days. Write 1 letter per day. The first one we're going to write is as a child. The next day is as a teenager, and the third one is as an adult. In these letters, we will write what we felt as a result of the actions and the words and the behaviors of those who were significant in our life. They played a significant role. This could be our parents, this could be our uncles, our aunts, our grandparents. It could even be our siblings, or perhaps our children. And the posse of angels is saying, once each letter is written, for us to read them out aloud. And when we read them out aloud, allow ourselves to feel the emotions of perhaps abuse, betrayal, insensitivity, hurt, and inconsideration that might come up. And the way we feel emotions is by crying or by being angry. Many in the spiritual community do not allow themselves to really feel anger. And the only way to release an emotion is to truly feel it. Once we do this, then burn the letters and release them. And in some cases, long-held regrets and resentments do come to full closure. It's amazing the liberating effect that this one exercise has had on my angel healing house, healing practice clients. The posse of angels and I have witnessed over the past 20 years the stunning effect that forgiveness for others and ourselves has had on our lives, and how it is now opening doors to our dharmic paths. Now, I've mentioned many times before on my Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio show, now in its 11th year. My weekly show is on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, that our dharmic paths that many are going to be stepping onto from this March 2022 and shown how to step forward is the highest way that our soul contracted to serve in this lifetime. And one of the major things that was holding a lot of people back was forgiveness. With so much that has occurred on the planet, especially over the past 2 years, we've certainly seen many people being able to live their lives from a higher, consciously elevated perception, allowing them to close doors on the past and make enormous strides in the area of forgiveness. In many cases, it truly doesn't matter how spiritual we are. Forgiving others can be a very difficult area to address. But the posse of angels urges us to look at forgiveness from an angel's perspective. You know, when it does come to forgiveness, the most important thing to remember is not what a person said or did. The most important thing to remember is that if that person is in our life, we contracted for that soul to be there. In fact, the road to forgiveness starts with taking responsibility for the appearance of everyone who is in our life. And not only did we contract for that soul to be in our life, but we also chose their characteristics as well. Now, the posse of angels knows that for many people, this is hard to believe, especially if that person has abused us and if they were controlling, judgmental, dishonoring, and they basically done us wrong. But they are saying that we contracted this divine soul and their contrasting, controlling natures to push us to be authentic and to speak up for ourselves. Now, once we understand that we contracted for that person to be in our lives, we accept responsibility for our part in what played out between us. Once we accept the accountability, there's no one to blame, and we're no longer a victim. Now that we've chosen to accept responsibility, then we have another big choice to make. We can either choose to make ourselves right and the other person wrong by replaying and rehashing the awful things that they did or said, or we can choose to be happy. Now, the posse of angels are assuring us that the recipe for forgiveness is taking responsibility and choosing to be happy over choosing to be right. And they're saying, yes, it is that simple. By forgiving others, we don't condone or tolerate or allow any disrespectful behavior. We're just choosing to stop the suffering of carrying the burden of unforgiveness on our soul anymore. We forgive for our own benefit, as we truly cannot control anyone else's actions or the choices that they might make once we forgive them. Now, the posse of angels is reminding us that we forgive others, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because it is we who deserve peace. And by choosing to forgive, we set a prisoner free and realize that the prisoner that was held captive was ourselves. There are many people who may see forgiveness as a sign of weakness, when in fact, to quote Mahatma Gandhi, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. The posse of angels is chiming in. Here they come. They're saying that unless we forgive others, we cannot fully put to rest the memory of any less than desirable relationships or events which have occurred. And by not finding closure with forgiveness, we then simply cannot move forward with our lives, as we're caught in an endless loop of blame and seeing ourselves as a victim. This perpetual reinforcement of negative energies keeps us on a constant carousel of attracting more negativity into our lives. Now, the posse of angels is adding that unforgiveness closes us down to being fully open to radiate the light-filled frequencies within that are necessary for the manifestation of our wishes and our dreams. Now, the posse of angels is giving us a very knowing smile, and they're saying that forgiving others simply comes down to the universal laws of cause and effect. When we choose to lovingly forgive from our hearts, we basically act from our divine, eternal natures. And by doing so, we allow the full measure and magic of the grace of the divine, God, to enter our lives. Do remember that forgiveness does not alter the past, but it certainly enlarges the future. Now, another important thing to remember when we are forgiving is rather than saying, I forgive you to someone, please remember to say, please forgive me. The words I forgive you still apportions some sort of blame for another person and diminishes our accountability and co-creation in what happened between us. By choosing to say, please forgive me, even though we may not be able to fully fathom what we did in a certain situation, these words have a very different energy to them than I forgive you. And by uttering, please forgive me, it begins to lift our energies and allows for increased space to open to encourage more love to fill us. Now, the posse of angels is saying that everyone makes mistakes. That's how we learn. And if we can't forgive others, we should not expect others to forgive us. And if you're having trouble forgiving, the posse of angels is reminding us to forgive others as quickly as we expect God to forgive us. Wishing you the blessings of forgiveness, which will allow for all kinds of magical doors to open up for us as we go into March 2022. Let's go to our cards and see what came out for us in this beautiful deck, which is the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds. This card came out, and I haven't seen this card in quite some time. It's funny, we just had 2022. What card should come out but the 22 card of insight? And on the bottom it said magical tools, writing, and star crafting. And it is as many in the conscious collective have connected with their multidimensional, cosmic, some would even say our galactic heritage and our natures, then now we have the ability to bring the energies that are all around us and certainly from above and weave them into our world. What we're doing is we're combining the celestial of the heavens with all that is terrestrial, with all that is of the earth. Each and every one of us is conscious and awakened. Whether we know it or not, we are now evolving into light beings, crystallizing in human form. And by doing so, we are connecting truly and deeply with all that is around us, literally becoming the link between the worlds, being in the world, but not of it. And through us can flow a pure and clear energy, a wise energy, which can guide, we can use to guide and comfort and heal and enlighten, a compassionate energy that we can see beyond any difference. We can find communion with those with whom we share this remarkable world. It's so beautiful. You are one who can share the knowledge now, because many have connected to their multidimensional, cosmic, galactic natures. What we're doing is we can write what the stars are telling us. You can understand now things that are subtly around you. This is a time to go stronger in your magical work, to learn and to turn your gaze to those things that your physical eyes cannot see. That's really, really important. In many ways, this card is calling us to be the wizard who creates the bridges between those two worlds now. Become the alchemist. Alchemize the seen and the unseen worlds, and let the wisdom pour through you into the world. It will allow it to flow out of you now. So many of you, maybe that is that you are going to be writing a book. Maybe that is that you're going to be teaching something that you know. And the posse of angels are suggesting that because we have heightened our senses so much to help us to connect with this magical world of our origins, they want us to call upon the elementals, the realms of the fairies and the dragons and the unicorns, who are to live so easily in the physical world, but they are not of it. And many of us who are now able to perceive and sense and feel them around ourselves, some like myself can actually see them, we garner so much information from their wisdom of being in the world and yet not affected by it. So thank you so much, Spirit, for that beautiful card. Let's go to these cards here. Whispers of Lord Ganesha. I love these cards. They're so beautiful. And the first card that came out for us was this card. Whoops, this is the card Embrace. You know, as we march into 2022, many in the conscious collective will start to feel a warm hug of liberation and freedom. And this is to take action and do what our hearts desires, to showcase to the world who we authentically are. You know, as multidimensional beings of light, encompassing and living from higher states of consciousness, we're now embracing new realities, and the world is responding and opening up for so many of us. March is truly the start of embracing those things that we spoke about. New job offers, new businesses, new relationships, both romantic and business partners. But my angelic family, the posse of angels, is saying that yes, for many, there will be very tangible information that sets us up on a new path. It's exciting as they know how much we have longed for this to happen. But more than this, March is a feeling in our hearts that we've come home to our true divine nature. No more pushing, no more forcing, no more getting our identity from outside sources, from any that call themselves authorities or influences, just embracing our multidimensional nature. We always have existed. We exist now. And once this physical form is over, we will continue to exist. They want us to embrace ourselves, reminding us that there is a deeper nature to our being. Embrace who you have now become. Give yourself a hug. And that number of that card is the 11. Many of us have mastered ourselves, and we are those ascended mastered being walking the earth plane now. So I love that card. Embrace yourself, embrace where you are now and all that you've done. The next Ganesha card for us is this card of achievement, and it's a 4-2. 4 plus 2 is 6. The 6 is a number after the rocky road of 5 and the challenges and perhaps the changes that we have all gone through and the trauma of the last 2 years. Now we're at that 6, which is harmony and balance and a stronger foundation and joy once more. And this card is the card of achievement. And the posse of angels, they know how much we've worked hard for these achievements and how much they mean to us. And when these achievements are realized, they want us to remember a few important things. Yes, they're saying they've been with you every step of the way. They saw your diligence, your perseverance, your determination, your resolve to bring about these new endeavors. But do remember that in order for them to have manifested, God and the angels had a huge hand in its manifestation, as we are in a co-creative dance to create our lives. Please do show gratitude for these wonderful new events, offers, and or connections that will miraculously happening from March. Certainly the end of March onwards is what they're saying. Now the posse of angels is saying, please, no matter what it is, do stay humble. There's a tendency, once a long-awaited and diligently sacrificed work for goal is achieved, that we can become conceited or become ego-filled with a sense of entitlement. Know that yes, you deserve accolades, you deserve the praise or the monetary or material abundance, but a humble heart is a heart of appreciation for all the unseen help of spirit that brought about this achievement. Beautiful card. Thank you, Lord Ganesha. And for some extra message, let's go to our Divine Feminine deck. And a card popped out that hadn't been, I don't think I have featured this card before. It's Freyja. And the divine feminine goddess Freyja is the card of discernment. And she's saying, you are God, goddess. And certainly, you are the God, goddess of your own fate. You and only you get to choose the life that you want to live. And this happens by being fierce and warrior-like about what you say yes to. And it's easier when you connect with your powerful, sovereign, multidimensional nature and use discernment so that you only say yes to what will actually nourish and renew you, inspire and expand you to build on what you've healed and cleared and cleansed and released and surrendered, certainly over the past 2 years. It's not your business to worry about those who you might disappoint. Remember, you're not made to meet everybody else's expectations of you. You were made to express the truth of who you are and to use this brief time that we're here in physical form to live out your potential in so many ways. Now, in my #1 Amazon International bestseller, One True Home, across the Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, I speak about when we're across the veil and we contract a human life of, let's say, 80, 90, 100 plus years across the veil, because there is no time, that's like a blip. That's like two or 3 weeks across the veil. It may seem like a long, hard slog as we're here in these human forms, but it's such a blip. So, with many of us stepping into our mastery, our only true obligation is to the voice of our soul prayer, and that has come in today to unapologetically ask us to choose and only choose the life we want to be living, and to only say yes, and make that yes a holy yes by only using it when it's truth for us. And once we do this, our life will be reflective of what our heart truly desires. And so thank you, Freyja, for that message of discernment. I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. So cute. Let's go to our postcards from Spirit. This one came out for us today. Oops. And this one, it says, with love on the bottom. Dearest you, if you allow your awareness to settle in, you will hear us whispering sweetness and encouragement to you. You will know the truth of things that cannot be discerned through the physical material world. The receiver for this kind of essential knowing is your intuition, which is not your sixth sense, but your first and primary navigational system of your soul. This is especially true if you're living in the fifth dimensional realms and higher. You are entering the age of consciousness. It's time to accept that the paranormal is normal. Human beings are multi-sensory, multidimensional beings. Spirit infuses all things, and your soul's job is to discover those essential truths here on earth where we all agreed to play the human game. Today, trust that spidey sense, read between the lines, tune into the stories behind the stories, and your world will then unfold and show you miracles. Fear not, for we are right here. And as always, Spirit loves you. And on the bottom it says, trust the invisible. That is why the Hidden of the Oracles cards in that card of insight, it said to help us to connect with that magical unseen world, connect with the fairies, connect with the dragons and the unicorns. They have so much wisdom to impart, to help us to remember the ancient wisdom that is inside of us. Let's go to our tarot cards and see what story we can come up with. So this is the last Walk-in Angel Ariel's weekly wisdom for February. February has been a lovely month. It really has been. It's been very quiet, and it has given me the time to be able to give to me, to be able to relax, to be able to recharge. I actually painted a picture this month, something which I haven't done for years and years. I had the time. I'm always creative by writing, but this took my creative bent in a different area, and it really allowed me to get in touch with what I love doing, and to just ease into who I am and the magic of me. I hope February has also been a month in which you took time to reconnect. I said on my Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio show with a call when a caller called in for a free mini angel reading, she asked what she could do, and the posse of angels to get more information. And we said, stop meditating the way that we used to when we were in the third or the fourth dimension, which was we took large blocks of time to meditate. And they said, because many of us are living in the higher dimensional frequencies, is to maybe take 10 minutes 3 or 4 times a day, maybe when we wake up in the morning, when we go to sleep at night, and maybe around noon, or maybe about 4 or something like that. Take 10 minutes just to, like you would plug in your phone, just to get a little bit of a boost and a recharge, and to settle ourselves, because we are spirit living in these human forms, just to connect, because we all live such busy lives. And this will keep topping us up so that we can stay on track to our highest vibrational frequencies. So to take that into March, to just change and tweak the way that you do meditate, as we no longer have to meditate for those large blocks of time, especially if we're living in the higher dimensions, because those higher dimensions, it's like we're meditating all the time, but we are still in physical form. So let's see what's coming out for us. The first card, and I'll be using my deck, which is the Angel Healing House tarot deck. First card coming out for us is the Eight of Wands. Now, as we go into March, may not happen in the first week, may not happen in the second week, but they're saying certainly for most people, from mid-March onwards, there's going to be an email, a telephone call, some kind of information, perhaps on social media, who knows, but there's the hawk bringing in the message for us that will speed up our lives. This could be something which we might be expecting, but it'll happen in an unexpected way, or it could be something that we're not expecting. But the eights are the infinity symbol, and they're bringing in abundance and prosperity and wealth, and it's like a closure. They're saying there's a closure on one thing. This new thing that's coming up for us will close a cycle and start a new cycle for us. So there is that. The rainbow is something that we've wished for, and it will be coming in very swiftly. Let's see, Eight of Wands. The next card is the Six of Cups. Now, they're saying that what's coming in is somebody from our soul tribe. This could be somebody from the past. This could be somebody from a past incarnation, from a past life, that's coming back to support, to guide us, to provide. Could be financial support, could be to provide that emotional support, could be to offer us a new job or business opportunity or something like that. But it has this feeling, it has this wonderful feeling that we know these people, and we're kindred spirits with them, And that's who the message is going to be coming from. So we have an 8 and going to a 6. Again, the 6s are about balance and harmony and joy. Next card is, we have 8, 6, 7. We have the 7 of Cups, which when these people come in and get in contact with us, they will open up possibilities in our lives. Open up possibilities on how we can serve the best way as we step onto these new dharmic paths and these new paths of service. Yes, some of us will be receiving multiple offers, and we just have to still ourselves, take time, which will be difficult because many of us have not only been waiting for a large amount of time in this incarnation, we've been waiting eons of lifetimes for this. But really, we need to still ourselves, to go within and to prioritize which things or which ones to choose from, because we are now so clear, many of us, be careful what you wish for because it will come in. The next card that comes out is another 8, is the 8 of Pentacles. Now the 8 of Pentacles is the rewarding, is being rewarded for our craftsmanship, for the things that we're very good at. It's the recognition of those things that we, with diligence and determination and will, that we have put out into the world. Perhaps we've written a book, perhaps we've done a radio show, perhaps we have a YouTube channel, perhaps we're active on social media, all of those things, and now we're being noticed for it. And that's the 8 of Pentacles. Next card, oh great, is the Ace of Swords, is the breakthrough card. This is our breakthrough moment, and those 3 eagles show us that we've had the courage and the bravery to keep going. Keep going. When all seemed lost, it was just persevere. Just keep going. Just keep going. Doesn't matter what shows up. The only thing that matters is what was in your heart and what you knew to be true. There's a new beginning that's happening as a result of that information coming in. There's another ace here, the Ace of Wands. The butterfly shows that we are going to be coming out of that cocoon in March and onwards into 2022 and stepping into those new roles as those spiritual leaders, those ascended masters on the earth plane, bringing forth our knowledge, sharing those things. And there's the new dharmic path that we're stepping onto on our way to our castles. So something about our vision, our ideas, which are going to be noted and rewarded. Next card coming out for us, the Knight of Swords. Yes, once this is this or several of these things are going to be offered to many of us, life is going to speed up. And it's going to really hit many of us because it's, and especially over the last 2 years when life in many respects slowed down, many of us are going to be traveling. Many of us are going to be, our gifts, talents, skills, and abilities are going to be needed. And we are going to be on the move, providing that, and taking action. The Knights are about taking action on those offers or those things coming in. Next one, confirmation about our path. The Fool is we are starting a new cycle. Starting a new cycle. This one with the dove, it's fated, it's karmic, it's dharmic. It's not meant for anybody else. You're not in competition with anybody else. And all you need to do is step on that path and take that leap of faith forward. It's very much going and stepping on that path and allowing the inner child, allowing ourselves to be led, knowing that it's spirit-driven. It is all spirit-driven. Next card coming out for us is another major arcana card, the Empress. We are giving birth. We are giving birth creatively to something new and sharing it with the world. 3 is the number of creation. And we are going to be creating new structures and new systems on the planet to replace new structures and systems of light to replace those old ones that were built on greed and corruption and deceit and all of those things. And being those way showers, spiritual way showers, to create new structures of light on the planet. What's the next one? Now the 6. 6 is again the balance, but this is the movement card. It's, yes, there have been rocky waters, but we're now heading into smooth sailing. Smooth sailing, nice calm waters in which we know that nobody else is creating our reality. We've taken back our power and we're creating our lives from our hearts, from what we say yes to. And we can see very clearly in the past how we gave our power away, but no more. We've garnered and taken back our powerful, sovereign, multidimensional natures. It is we who create worlds, and we do this by creating them from within us. The next card coming out is the 9 of Cups. It's the wish card. Only one wish card out of the 78 card deck. And when I love teaching tarot, I teach tarot, by the way, one-on-one over a 6 weeks course. And every time the 9 of Cups comes out, I say, make a wish. Because this is traditionally called the wish card. This is wishes coming true. And many of us are going to see wishes coming true synchronistically, serendipitously, magically, miraculously, because we've let go of the how and the when of things working out. We've let go of attachments and expectations, and we're allowing ourselves to co-create with Spirit. Spirit knows us better than we know ourselves. So why wouldn't we give the reins over to God and the angels and say, hey, you work it out, more infinitely miraculous than my limited linear brain could ever think. One more card. Oh, hey everyone, we've gotten 3 aces. The Ace of Cups. The fish are a sign of abundance. The fish, of prosperity. The dove is karmic. And that cup overflowing is this love of life, knowing that we're creating this new heaven on earth for ourselves and everyone else. And they're pointing specifically to the lotus flower. The lotus grows in the mud. It just does. And it's one of those flowers that takes the longest time to open up. And many of us have felt like we've been just trying to traverse ourselves through the mud and the muck and the mire. And yet we've still gone. And now we're going to see ourselves flourishing and opening up. And we are going to be so overwhelmed with emotions. And that new emotional beginning of ours. Thank you so much, Spirit. So let's go to our making magic and see what comes out for us. I am sending a lot of warmth to my clients, to my family over east here in the United States. There was a cold snap that came through. And it was just bitterly, bitterly cold. So I hope you are, oops, those 2 came out. I hope you're staying safe on the roads with icy or snowy conditions, and that you are rugging up and staying nice and warm. It's starting to warm up a little bit here in Santa Monica in Southern California. So, okay, come on. One more. Oh, no, that didn't quite jump out. Okay. Do remember, there's not many days before March is here, but certainly before the second week in March or mid-March, to see if there is still some work that needs to be done on those shadow aspects of ourselves. If there's any anger, sadness, bitterness, resentment, regret, any blame, shame, judgment, criticism, defensiveness, anything that triggers or is a trigger or makes us, whoops, that one fell on the floor, that makes us react, excuse me. And do write those letters. They help enormously. The first card that we got is perseverance. I was just speaking about perseverance with the Lotus, the motivation to keep going despite all odds. And Spirit is saying, you have no idea what's coming for you and how much you will be rewarded for your perseverance, not only to help bring more love and light to the planet, because that was stamped into our DNA, but to our individual lives and to our heartfelt dreams and our wishes. You will see this. Time to shine creates the energetic resonance for golden opportunities. So one of the ways we can shine even more is by writing those letters, closing those doors of forgiveness, and then it opens us up to create space for only that of the light to come in. And then the next card is Dragonfly. You bring light to the world. So there are two cards here, one about persevering, but the two about bringing more light to the world. Dragonfly. And Dragonfly certainly is a card of dragonflies, is a card of change. How many things are going to be changing in our lives, but also dropping illusions as to what we thought was real, but it was just a matter of a past perception or perspective that we can see very clearly now that it was just an illusion before. So I hope all of that has been helpful. Do remember that if you want to take advantage of my services, please go to my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com, or you can phone 831-277-3716, and that's Pacific Standard Time here in Santa Monica, California. And I do also do readings and have distant healing with Reiki, and that's all online. And also, if you're interested in my award-winning books, please do go to my website, Amazon, or audiobooks, Audible for those audiobooks. Go out, everyone, and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. I hope to hear from you this week. I do take calls every week and have done for 11 years at my Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio show when callers call in for free mini angel readings. So I'm sending you love and angel blessings, and just go out and have an extraordinary end to February and open up to all those miraculous manifestations in March. Take care, everyone. Bye.